Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jamie McDonald and Mike Aining back again. We're like a little late. Our 1 year anniversary, but this is episode 24 of Mirrorless Minutes. And so we're delayed by a week due to some crazy extenuating circumstances, which if time permits, I'll kind of go into them a little bit. But so we're back, I guess. We're off schedule for a week, but we're going to hold to the bi-monthly schedule. So 2 weeks from two will be the next show. We're not going to try to jockey things around at all. We'll just stay with every 2 weeks. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great. It's going great. It's great to be back on the show because
it's been a while.
That one before I was able to jump on for a minute because I was traveling, but for a few minutes. But and then last one, I know we did our little practice session the night before the show, and you were getting you had to keep telling the squirrels to run faster up north to get your bandwidth.
Yeah, I was in Michigan's Upper Peninsula in Munising, and it's a really well-developed state. If you stay in the Lower Peninsula, up to where I was at, and for situations that we were in, that it took a 20-minute car ride to get a cell signal. Didn't matter what your carrier was either. These were just remote areas, so the internet up there not too great.
There's a future business possibility there, right?
Oh, good grief, yeah. I mean, you got the money to roll out some ones out there. Yeah, you can make a killing, but so here we a year later with some kind of exciting things about as far as products go, and give away a couple things, maybe nothing extravagant. I don't have a Bentley or even a new camera to give away this year, right. But I've got a couple little good handout. So I before we get started on that, let's just talk about what we're up to. What have you been up to lately?
I've actually it's been a calm week this last week for me, but prior to that, I was doing a lot of traveling in San Diego, and then the week you were out in Ann Arbor doing your walk, I was up in Toronto doing the presentation there for Olympus, and then going on and then doing a whole workshop that weekend. But Toronto is fantastic area. Wow. We just had an awesome time. And then even cool Peter Baumgarten was there. He happened to be in Toronto at the time. But he's a lot further than Toronto. I think he's like 7 hours north of Toronto or something.
Yeah.
So that's like 11 hours north of where we're at.
Right. Yeah. He lives in an extremely remote place compared to even where I was at, which is remote.
Right.
Yeah, I was checking out the photos. Your event in Toronto. It looks like a really cool city to visit. I'd like to make it there sometime.
Yeah, that is. Just walking through their little. I'm probably saying it wrong. The Dundas Square, whatever. It's like a little Times Square. Fantastic. People with guy holding snakes and just craziness. Just craziness everywhere. I mean, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like that, it's fantastic. But, so we had a lot of fun. And your thing looked really cool too in Ann Arbor.
Holy cow! Yeah, it was overwhelming initially.
Especially the presentation part.
Exactly. So I've done numerous presentations, usually like at a camera club, camera store, or something like that. But
right. The
folks at the camera mall in Ann Arbor, great friends of Olympus, great store, fun store to work with. They showed me the venue that I'd be presenting at, and it was a Michigan theater in Ann Arbor, beautiful old theater, but they said it was a screening room. So I thought, okay, cool. Not somebody who's a Hollywood insider or anything like that, not realizing what a screening room is. This big a movie theater, a 200 seat theater, with a giant screen. The cool part about it was once I got past the fact that holy cow, I'm gonna be standing in the front of a theater presenting, was that projectionist came down and spoke with me. Made sure I had all the appropriate cables that I needed and all that, and that the screen was the projector's a 4K. So that means is my images look pretty badass on a screen like that. I'm used to printing, with a little DLP or LED projector, maybe like a short projector or something that colors like a little iffy, not really super. So I'm always hesitant when I'm doing a presentation. I'm always like, but the picture looks a lot better on the laptop that I was presenting from. Trust me on that. Whereas this one was, the images were just jaw-dropping. I mean, there was actually a point where during the presentation, I put up one of my favorite images of this tree covered in ice, and to collectively hear 30 plus people go, when the picture came up, I was like, gosh, that's so cool. So I knew that this was working out right. So apologies if the audio gets a little wonky here. My internet connection today is just subpar for some reason.
That's all right. It's a whole lot better than last week.
Yeah, I'm not saying whatever that one single word was over and over yet.
Yeah, no. When it starts doing that, we'll have
to flag me on that one. Yeah. So the cool thing about the event was it was a chance to schedule a location for the upcoming Kelby Walk, and I will be doing in conjunction with Olympus and Camera Mall. I hate to steal the thunder from Kelby on this because it is their walk, but we are doing it in conjunction with Olympus and Camera Mall in Ann Arbor. So really stunning architecture and really cool street photography opportunities there, and just kind of follow Mike and I. So when the photo walk is going to be, and I keep shooting out links to the photo walk pages, so does Mike, to register. Yeah. And before I stop, I just want to tell people too, you'll see that the photo walk probably by tonight or tomorrow morning is going to be full. If that's the case and you can't register, don't sweat it. Just show up. The Kelby walk site allows us a maximum of 50 people, and here we did it. I think we had 60 plus people, close to 70, and I don't care how many people come. Mike and I can handle it. So
let's go out. I mean, that's what, school's back in, which is going to be awesome because there'll be all kinds of streets will be full.
Yeah,
and I mean, when we hit. What would be cool is, I don't know if there's ever going to be that many photographers in that graffiti alley. We got to figure out some way to get a picture of everybody in that alley. If we had 60 or 70 people in that alley.
Yeah, we'll have a few people stuck on the gum wall that's there,
Yeah, so I'm interested. We've got to come up. It sounds like putting clowns in a VW or something. See how many we can get in that alley.
It'll be awesome. We're definitely gonna need a selfie stick with a Olympus air on it, and probably the 8mm fisheye in order to fit everybody into the shot. It'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
So there's that to look forward to. It's going to be definitely a fun and exciting walk.
Yeah, what's it? The date? October 3rd?
2nd. 3rd. It's the day after my anniversary. My wife just kind of gave me I can't do the Mr. Spock, the one eyebrow thing, and she's, I love you when I say it's fine. I'm like, oh, happy anniversary to me.
Right, there you go.
But so it's been what, Mike, 3 weeks since we done a show together. So have you taken any photographs at all in the
just a couple, but you know what, I might be able to scrounge up 5.
Yeah, why don't you throw a couple up there? That'd be kind of
all right. Let's this is going to definitely be going back. Do you see the Rensen there, Detroit?
Yeah, I know that spot.
Yeah, the famous spot that we were kicked out of.
Yeah, well,
I had to go back undercover a couple of weeks later, and when you go with just a couple of people, it's a lot easier instead of 8. But it's funny because the person that I ended up meeting up on the roof, there was another photographer there. I won't name his name. He was trying to get up in the other spot as well.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, don't do that. Just leave it alone. But this is a shot of it's the GM World headquarters. I know it, and I think most people that would be from Detroit know it as the Renaissance Center, and taken from a parking garage up above, and just a great night. As far as that, live composite. This is with the EM1, and just real sharp. As far as the people mover coming by, that's what that middle track is, and I probably took, I think, 25 or 30 to get the one that you really like. So, but a lot of action that night. And if you just to the right of the flags there, just for people that may not understand, that actually is the tunnel right over to Canada. And in the background, you'll see, in fact, I'll move the cursor right here. That's Windsor Casino right there. So that's how close Windsor is there to Detroit. It's just a tunnel ride over. So that's why you got a lot of action coming out of that tunnel there too. So that was a lot. That was fun. That was, boy, that seems like a long time ago, I guess. But let's then we went to the next week. We went to the Woodward Dream Cruise, and I hosted about eight of us out there. We did a little street shooting and just had some fun because, you know, us and about 1.2 million other people were there. So pretty hectic day. It's the largest one-day car event in the world, the Woodward Dream Cruise. And it's like a 16-mile stretch of Woodward, and everybody brings classic cars from all over the world, really, and definitely all over the country. But that day here, like this shot you see here, is captured on an Olympus Trip film camera from 1972. And I was shooting some Ilford 400 ISO film, and I thought I saw this guy coming by me in this old car, and he's got a GoPro, and I thought, you know, how interesting. So I reached right into his car and took a film picture with a GoPro in an old car. I don't know where, it just seemed odd to me. So but that was a lot of fun, and the first roll of film that I've shot in a whole real long time, you know, 20, 30 years, even maybe 20 years for sure. But then also I brought with me the Olympus Air, and this is a lot of fun. I wrote a little thing up, a little blog spot on my website too, about being able to put it right on the ground in the street, obviously, and sit back from the road, so you're not that close. But, you know, and then I saw, of course, his grandfather and the kid here and his reaction to all the cool cars going by, and it's just a lot of fun. I was trying to incorporate people, of course, into the picture, not just the cars. So that was a lot of fun. Woodward Dream Cruise, if you ever get a chance and you're in Detroit to get there, it's always in August. Just celebrated this 20th anniversary. It's an amazing event to see, even if you only see it once. Then I was out in San Diego for a few days and walking the shore. Just, wow, what a great place this was. Along the shore, right underneath this skateboarder, is a train that goes by, and it's actually a commuter train taking people back and forth from the city right on the shore. I mean, I'm thinking about what a nice way to ride home from work along this shore. And then these guys were doing a bunch of skateboarding, and right below this wall, you can't see it here because of the silhouette, you know, as the sun goes down, but this is about a 30-foot drop to where the actual ground is. So these guys were really making some scary moves. You know, Jamie, you probably know more about skateboarding than me, but it was a lot of fun to shoot. I can tell you that, you know, and put them there. And it's always nice to, you know, when you see these guys terrorizing and going up that high, it's pretty cool. Let's see. And I jumped over, I was telling you, to Toronto. We did some street shooting. And that's this next one. We talked a lot about, you know, doing our street shooting. We talk about backdrops and that. And this is one of the ads that was on the building that we were going through Toronto. Sorry about that. And I just thought this ad, we all just sat actually and waited for people to come through. We had all kinds of crazy pictures in here. But I just thought this one was funny with this guy just not paying attention to anything in it. If you keep looking at it, you're wondering, how did that guy jump over him? And a lot of fun. Good backdrops for street shooting are always fun. To just park yourself under and wait for something to happen. And you know, it wouldn't be anything if I didn't go through and talk more live composite in Toronto. With how busy Toronto is, what a great place for live composite. I must have had 10 places I could have stopped and shot all night, I think. But this is one of the ones that I just wrote a blog post on how do you get that shot. It's like my 4th installment on that. And this is one of with the zoom effect. And, you know, and you can go to my website at mikebaining.com and read more about it. But it's a lot of fun. As the live composite starts, I do the zoom effect to get the dimension and the depth here. So it looks like you're going into warp speed, and then just wait and watch for our, you know, for the cars to come through, and you get a whole different view. It doesn't work very good on everyone. I tried it all night at different places, but this has happened to be the one that was the sharpest. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'd say if you're doing live composite, definitely give it a try. And if you don't, go to my website, check it out, and I talk about it, and you can see how it's going. So that's what I've had. All right, are you back?
It's cool. I like that the zoom effect. I've tried that before, but in all honesty,
Yeah,
I never tried it using live complete. I love that idea because you can get the long exposure trails and then throw it in at the end.
yeah,
that's sweet. It's a good thing
yeah.
you did
And,
right about
and you
that.
know what? Definitely, I'm one of the workshop goers was doing that, and I go, you know, I've done it before too, and I said I never, just like you, I never did it with live composite. I'm going to try this. Then you start doing it where you just do it in the beginning, like if you do light painting with light composite, light paint first, then wait for everything else to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked great. So there's a need for it, or there's a want for it, but not on everything. But it's cool. A lot of fun.
That's
Now,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure, and over the last 3 or 4 weeks, you've taken a few. I've seen, like, you're shooting for Pure Michigan magazine now. It looks like.
Yeah, and a couple insulins. So let me share some of those. Let's see here. We are. All right. So the first one, I'm just sharing one from my event in Ann Arbor, and this is at the University of Michigan Law Library. And I don't do architecture. You know, it's not my thing. But when you step inside of a building like this that just literally like takes your way with its beauty, you have to at least give it a shot. So I set up the tripod, and oh wait, no, you know, I didn't do a tripod on this. This handheld, 3 shots bracketed at 2 exposure values each, with the E5 Mark II and the 714. That's right, because I couldn't set a tripod in this building. But gosh, it was just mind blowing. I've had people compare it to Hogwarts. I've had people compare it to buildings at Harvard or Yale. Stunningly beautiful buildings. So because of the lighting in there, that's why I chose HDR in there, and it's pretty easy to do with a camera that can shoot, you know, that fast with the image station. So no ghosting, no cratered artifacting, handheld bracketed HDR photo. So I was pretty excited to get that. It was kind of cool also the fact that there were like 2 people in the whole library, and there was actually a studying down here, and there was one right here, and that's really it. I
was going to ask you about that. I don't want to interrupt your picture, but I didn't see anybody in there. Now that you point them out, now I do. That's hard to find. I mean, that I've been there 3 times, and I've never been able to get it without anyone in it. And
honestly, at the opposite, which is, you know, like a mirror of this for the most part, there was a photo shoot going on. There was a gentleman with a woman in like a beautiful bright blue evening gown of the dark wood. They were just doing their own little private photo shoot in the background. It was pretty awesome. You know, that I'm bringing a group in there, and there's already a photo going on in a library. But definitely a place. So I think it was the week. I'm having a hard time keeping track of my weeks here. I had so much go on in the last 3 weeks. The weekend following that event, I had a guy's weekend away with some buddies of mine. I took them up north camper with hope of shooting different things. The first things we wanted to shoot was Lighthouse here. It's Little Sable Point Lighthouse. It's near Silver Lake Sand Dunes on the west side of Michigan. My goal was to go there and shoot the Milky Way over the lighthouse, which I have in the photo here. I was expecting to have the Northern Lights make an appearance while we were there, so it was like this super wicked cool bonus while we were to actually be able to shoot the Northern Lights as well as the Milky Way in such a dark area. So I was with the this was the EM1, I think, and the new 8mm 1.8 fisheye, which I wouldn't tell with the wild distortion. And the reason I was using the fisheye is because it's such a wide aperture f1.8. You want a wide aperture when shooting the Milky Way, so you can keep your exposure times a little lower. So this was on a Saturday night, the night when we got up there. My goal was to take buddies to the pier in Grand Haven, Michigan for set. Well, as you can see by this photo, we were treated not only a sunset earlier, but also a thunderstorm that rolled in offshore. And actually, the storms were pretty severe back to our homes, but we were fortunate enough to be able to be there at the pier for about 2 hours and just shoot this thunderstorm that was continuously rolling there for 2 hours. It stayed off for the whole time. We never got a drop of rain on us, and we all got incredible images. I mean, several of my friends have had their images shared by the Pure Michigan ad campaign on different social media accounts, and everybody's been impressed from the photo that night. So it's just to take friends somewhere to shoot the things that they had a chance to shoot, and to get all these bonuses out of it. Getting the Aurora Borealis in our shots one night, and going for a sunset actually sunset and thunderstorm at the same time. It's kind of cool. This past weekend, where the lack of internet is apparent because we couldn't show, was Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And this is shot at Quamanon Falls, and that's near Paradise, Michigan, in the UP. And this is the upper Quamanon Falls. It's the taller of the two parts of the waterfalls there. And this shot with the EM1 and the 12-40 f2.8 Pro and D filter on it, so that I could kind of extend out my exposure time to get that nice soft flowing water. And for some reason, I'm sharing the same again, and I don't know why I add it to the preview, but it's just another view of the falls. Another waterfall that we visited when we were there is Munising Falls. It's kind of to get a sense of scale on some of the pictures, but waterfall, I think probably about 35 feet tall, so not like modestly tall, but it's still pretty tall. And we seen numerous people come and take photos while we were there off from this observation deck, and I'm the crazy guy that climbs over the observation deck and starts hiking up towards the falls the whole time. My wife's shaking her head at me saying, I can't believe you're going out there and doing this, but you know, whatever you got to do to get a little bit different shot than what everybody else is getting. I was also doing things like putting my camera on the tripod, focusing on my spot with a second timer, releasing the shot, and then taking the tripod with the legs extended and lowering it down off these observation decks like above the water. So I'm lowering my camera down upside down like 6 feet lower than the observation deck, again, to get shots that, you know, people weren't getting. Everybody's like, wow, that was a great idea. So
the you know, the one you do with the ND filter, I was surprised at looking at the in the foreground there. You've got all the yellow plant, and nothing really looks like it's moved.
Right. Some of the other shots, you can see it, you know, really clear, or that there was a lot of movement. But the shot with the gold rods or the yellow flowers in front,
right?
For whatever reason, it was the worst day ever. You know, well, it was great for color because really overcast and kind of drizzly, so there's a lot of contrast. But there was a lull. I think for apparently only a couple of minutes. It wasn't a long shot. I think it was probably like about 15 seconds maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it was lull for 15 to where there was no plant move, which was awesome because I have a lot of other shots where there's the crazy ghosting going on from the vents. But
right. No, man, that's, boy, you guys, and then on that trip you took out west. Oh my gosh, you got a book full of pictures right there. Just that one trip.
So
funny
you book. You segued perfect. So before we get to like some of the other stuff, I just wanted to about, you know, something that people don't do enough is print. You know, I've got pictures hanging on the walls in here, you know, some of my stuff, and it's not often enough that I get printed out, but it's even less often that I get them printed out in a format that's me take my stuff other places for to see. And so there's a company called MySure, and this is the first time I ordered like good book. I've ordered several from Blurb. I hate to knock a company ever, but the I got from Blurb, I guess it was you get what you pay for. The quality wasn't the greatest, the paper wasn't great, the cup come out so high, and resolution wasn't great. But you know, I was paying like, you know, $15 or $10 for this book. I think is 11 by 15 size, and it's been a quarter, $125, but it's $125 well spent. I've never printed out anything through a bookmaker that turned out this. I mean, the color reproduction, you know, and we're doing this over webcam, was so stupid, but on that, but looks like it does on my Mac. The page is really heavyweight. I don't know what weight they are, you know, all on their website what weight it is, but they're very heavy. They're coated, so it's supposed to be, you know, there's some protection there from spills or what have you. You know, that in back of the book were printed with photos of mine. You can completely customize the layout however you want. You have the whole book be full page photos if you want it, or you can break it up into collage and what have you, which kind of what I did, and added to text, a few things.
You're gonna put the link in the show notes on that?
Yeah, in the show, I'll definitely put a link to there. So I cannot recommend them highly enough. And actually, I got the idea for the book from a buddy of mine, and sure of our show, David Bostador. He brought one that he had run off over to my house. And I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful. I need to do this. So thank you to David for that, and thank you to my publisher for making phenomenal products. So price, not cheapest thing, recommend to people, $125. But I'll tell you what, I think that book's gonna last a long time. It's a beautiful way to represent your work to other people. So just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, for sure. So, but you've been, we talk a lot about cameras, and just so happens within the last 3 weeks, I think there was something announced. I don't know. Call me crazy. Maybe my favorite camera. Like I'm going crazy that I got to get one in my hand.
I think your favorite camera has a new baby brother who's kind of cooler than his big brother. The OM-D E-10 Mark II, and there's a little right there. So I'll go over a few of the specs about this. I mean, everybody's known about it for a little while. I did a little hallway unveiling on my way north at Mackinac City from the in hallway from my phone. But I was just, me, I get all geeked up and excited about products I want about them.
That had a little bit of a shining moment there. I was a little nervous about being in the hallway of a hotel.
It was a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it was a little creepy watching it for a while, but as long as I didn't see any girls on, little tricycles, that was all right.
Yeah, I think I got shot at probably 11 o'clock at night. My family was winding down for the night, and I walked under the hall with my phone and my camera. And I said, "What are you doing?" I got up together a video really quick, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're nuts." So some of the difference between the Mark II and the original EM10, it's funny. Like you hear people say, "Oh, what's compelled to upgrade?" And there's a couple of ways I want to address that. One is that just because a new camera comes out, it doesn't always mean it's an upgrade necessarily for somebody. But for somebody getting into the system, this is definitely got some bells and whistles that would sway me towards this product versus another one. But if you're somebody who's been sitting on a body for a while, I think some things here that would definitely lend themselves to wanting to take that upgrade path. Those is the addition of 5-axis image stabilization to the lowest end camera, the lowest end OM-D camera. So just having that level of image stabilization in their entry level is the big deal.
Yeah, and that's I because I have a couple things down, and I'm just gonna jump in on when you hit them if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, because that right there, especially that camera being like my favorite for street shooting, hands down. But the one thing that I miss all the time when I'm doing street shooting with the old one is that it's only 3-axis stabilization. And if you're doing shooting that's down on your side from the hip or whatever, or even moving quickly, you do get some blur. And when I would shoot with the EM5 Mark II or the EM1, when I did some street shooting of that, I never would get that. So that from a street shooter perspective, there's a reason right there to upgrade.
Oh yeah,
big time. You can really start hitting the movement, bouncing around in crowds, and and use that low light capability and still get a nice clear shot. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I can see why. Definitely, like you said, if you're a shooter and you're shooting from the hip, you're kind of a run and gun shooter. You're going to have to be really nimble and fly. And if you don't always have the time to stop and steady up really well, then that extra 2-axis image stabilization is relatively different to have. Something else camera, and these things I'm not going to be able to show over, a video broadcast here, but Olympus does this thing. They call it simulated optical viewfinder. I know for people transitioning away from a DSLR, we've got an op viewfinder. We're actually looking through the lens at the world around you. Looking at a screen inside of here is a little different. People, I've been doing it since one with all of the OM-D line. I've totally jumped into it 100%. So I don't remember what an optical viewfinder looks like, but I do know that when you enable the simulated optical viewfinder on this, which is basically like an expanded dynamic range on the finder, it's cool. Like now I'm like, okay, it needs to go in the rest of the camera. I like that it gives you this a sense of clarity and detail that I guess is more similar to like looking, directly through the lens and not looking at a screen. The pixel density on the viewfinder in this is really high, and it's an OLED display. So that just means really crisp, really vibrant, really detailed. And then we add that expanded dynamic range into the simulated optical viewfinder. Now I need a DSLR handy so I can compare what the differences are between the two. But I'll tell you what, it's like this. It's a really realistic view. So you definitely feel like you're looking through an electronic viewfinder with this.
Well, and they usually on an entry model like the the EM10 there, you're going to get a lot of DSLR shooters that say, I just want to try that mirrorless thing. The thing Mike and Jamie, the last thing in Toronto, not one single mirrorless user was on it. It was all DSLR users. But I mean, we had Olympus equipment that they tried. But I think they're really going to see that. That option as being, something that is sharp. And I know from shooting them just a few years ago, I can't wait to see that too. That sounds nice.
A good point that you bring up too. So a lot of people that transition from a DSLR don't want to do what I did and just sell all DSLR equipment all at once and jump 100% into mirrorless. They want to maybe get the second system fit out, see if it works for them, and then gradually make that move. Like I know a young lady in a town nearby to me who I've spoken with, and she's spoken with some other you and I both know. And, I think he's a Canon shooter, and she just put an order for an EM Mark II and 17 millimeter. So she wants to go for it and just check it out. And I think that by going with this body with that optical viewfinder, once I show her how to enable, I think it'll make the decision-making process a little bit here for her to jump, and eventually into it. So that's a cool feature. Some of the others that are they had me really floored. So the first one I'll talk about is focus stacking. If you're a macro shooter, or in all honesty, like I'm gonna find a way to work this into landscape photography, and I have ideas for some concept shooting. But I'll tell you what focus stacking is for those who aren't sure. Basically, if you're shooting macro photography, you have a razor thin depth of field. If you've ever shot a macro, you notice that if you shoot a fly, insect, or whatever, a coin, you can get the front edge of it totally in focus, and then the back side of the thigh ball's back is completely blurred out. It's you've got a picture that's like this deep, and that's it. So the ways around that is to take multiple exposures at greater focal length. So you focus on the eyes, and then you move it back on the eye a little bit further. Shoot it on, and you keep doing that gradually until you get a whole series of images, and then you can throw those into Photoshop and do a full merge, and it'll actually do an incredible job of blending all those images together and creating one with a greater depth of field. Hard. It's a pain in the ass. So I've tried it like 3 or 4 times and gotten 0 winners that way, doing it manually, moving the focus. Because by the time I've made adjustments, I either jump too far in between shots, so the focus blurry lines in it, or my subject has said, you know what, dude, I'm not hanging out here all day, I'm leaving, and it just leaves. So with the 10 Mark II, you can go into focus bracketing, and you can tell it, I want to do focus bracketing. I do 7 shots. I want 90 shots. I want to do 190 shots.
Wow.
You can extend this to like a crazy depth, and I've got a few examples. They're supposed to be in a presentation I was to do this past weekend get to do of what that does, and it's incredible to have a graph of an insect from the tip of its nose to the back of its abdomen, and the whole thing is focused. It's such a hard thing to do, and where I was talking about like incorporating that into like landscape type shots is I've also got another example photo, and they're stuck in my presentation. Exported them out into that, so I can't share it here, but I'll put them online at some point. Same concept. I've got a graph of a little tiny toad sitting on a stone, but not only is he in focus, but everything into the back of my yard is in focus as well. So it's a macro photo. I mean, he occupies, I'm going to say 70% of the image frame, but not only is he in focus, but everything behind him is in focus. And the only way to really push that would be with, I'm guessing, like a crazy super wide angles that allows you to focus like really close, but still be able to stop down to like f/22. I don't even know how you. I really don't know how you'd accomplish it without.
Yeah, the physics may not work.
Yeah,
actually,
because when I was telling people what I was doing with this, or ideas, I was thinking to myself, I have never seen a photo like this before. So I was excited to be able to put together something like that, and easy to do. It was a lot of stitch. I have a pretty new iMac, and my iMac was like, okay, dude, I don't want to stack 120 some odd images, so I ended up going back out, reshooting in like three separate phases, 25 shots, and stacking 75. It's a cool picture. So that's a technology, this camera, that I've never seen a camera yet. I'm saying it's not out there. I personally have never seen it, or in the tough cameras, you know. So you've got like the TG, 3, 4 do focus stacking, and they also do like this focus bracketing thing too. So this is focus bracketing. So it brackets them. The tough can do the same thing, but the thing is with tough, it's a smaller file size. You know what I mean? The resolution and detail just there. It's cool to be able to do it in a point and shoot, but to have a file size and image quality and dynamic range you get out of this bad boy and do it. Game changer for photographers. So
yeah, that's cool.
Focus bracketing. Other thing of note in this camera, they're really cool. Ergonomics. They've improved the ergonomics a bit, and I hate to talk about ergonomics because for some people it's not an but for me it kind of is. They've added new function buttons to the camera. So that's one thing I don't think I can ever get enough of, our function buttons. You know, they're kind of nice to have there. You know, the power switch has moved. I know again that's an ergonomics thing, but it's kind of cool. The power switch, after you reach the on position, you can push it forward a little bit more. Or go in here. There we go. Pops the flash up. Okay? So this is interesting too, and this is something that we have to probably tread lightly on as far as how we explain it to people, because I don't want misconceptions. So it does time lapse. It does time lapse in 4K. Okay. So basically, it's used full sensor resolution to take all your individual frames, put them together in a time lapse, and compile them all in the camera in 4K. It's not for video time lapse, but it's at full resolution. You use time lapse in any other camera, and you compile in the camera. It's always downsampled. You don't get the full resolution of the sensor that way. Whereas this in the E-M10 Mark II is completely compiled in camera, full sensor resolution, 4K, and it's I haven't done it yet. I haven't had a.
I was going to ask you, did you get a chance?
I mean, I guess I've had a chance the whole time I've had it.
But
do it in a situation where I think would really shine for it,
right.
So. I mean, those are just a few of the things in the camera that I guess that I can talk about right now. It's so far it's cool.
Yeah,
and I'm one of those weird people that the files look different out of different cameras, and I swear that the files on this remind me of the EM5 Mark II for some reason. To me, remind me of the Pen E5. They just have this feel to them. It's right here. I don't know, maybe it's legit, but I swear that the files that come out of those 3 cameras are unique to themselves versus the original EM5 and the EM1.
Yeah.
So
it's got electronic shutter, right? So you've got.
Oh yeah. How could I not remember? How could I not?
These are the things that I'm like excited.
Yeah. So it does have the electronic shutter, so it can shoot silent, which is awesome. The frame rate isn't as high as it is like on the EM1.
Right.
I think I get the continuous. You remember off the top of your head the frame rate,
the 8.5 frames, but it is up from the EM10, the regular EM10. The first one was 8 frames, so it's up a half frame. But it's not like an EM1 or Mark II, but it's not. All these things we're talking about are an entry level camera for what?
Entry level.
49, right?
So here's another weird. It's like the more we go, the more I start. This too. So this is cool, and I use this on vacation actually. when you've got your eye up viewfinder, screen blacks out. Everybody's that uses these. But when your eye is up viewfinder, you can take your thumb.
That's what I wanted to hear about.
Touch the back screen, and where you touch, you see it on the viewfinder inside the focus point goes to where it is. And now you can move thumb around, move that focus point wherever you want it. So
Awesome.
you can track kids playing. It's kind of cool. So my kids were throwing this ball up north. Like I'm focused. The youngest, he's closest to me, and he throws the ball to older son off in the distance, and I just move my thumb further up on the screen and bump right there. And now the focus. So I'm like bouncing back and forth, and focus on these things is just like ridiculous.
It's like a trackpad almost, isn't it?
It's exactly the best analogy ever.
A trackpad.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can use a trackpad on your laptop, then you can do this. It's cool. It's super.
Wow. That is awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and that boy, and then I think you can get, if you can order it with the EZ lens, right? 14 to 42.
14 to 42. Yep.
And I think it's only 150 more with that lens when you order it, which is a great bargain because that lens is
awesome.
There's no way you call that a kit lens. You cannot call that a kit lens.
Definitely not.
And so, I use that lens all the time. Yeah,
and and all honesty, with that lens on, so this is the 17 millimeter lens hood on it. The 442 Easy is I've got an error right here. Let me put on that.
Yeah.
And just so you can get an idea of size camera you're going to be walking around with, for street shooters, travelers,
exactly.
For the commute photographer. I mean, this is nothing. This, granted, I will bit baggier pants. I could have bought this in cargo pants pockets. It definitely fit in a jacket pocket. It's an awesome setup. It's definitely an awesome setup.
Yeah, that's coming out fairly soon. That's the one thing I'm trying to look at my notes. I know it's soon.
Yeah, well, I know.
It's been a long wait.
I know the availability was supposed to be this month.
Right.
It's supposed to be in
September.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And I guess one more thing I'll talk about this just while I'm on a roll here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had somebody ask me the other week, why are they putting all the new stuff in that camera? What is that about? And I explained to them that we were told that this kind of like a test bed for Olympus. A lot of the new technology, it's this camera right here.
Right.
It's a cheaper camera, so it's available to people, so they can get these new features into more hands for. And it's a good test bed for them to get feedback from people if they start seeing online and through social media accounts or forums or user groups or whatever. People are like, man, that chat thing is awful. That I love that. I'm using it for them, using it for that. Then there's a likelihood that those things are noticed and those technologies transition into the other bodies as those ones to come out. So there's always the technologies that are introduced here can work their way up the food chain and into the other cameras. And you got to look at development cycle too. This is also one that's coming first. Then as they're development, the other two in the OM-Ds get released. So
yeah, exactly. And they've worked it the other way too. Like I think this one has the keystone compensation, right?
Correct.
And that was just a firmware update, I think, that they did on the 1, and then it was out, of course, on the 2, or I mean the EM5 Mark II. So yep. So it works both ways. And heck, that again, you just got to keep emphasizing that's the entry level one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stuff we're talking about.
For the lowest barrier to entry into mirrorless cameras from you get state-of-the-art technology. It's so good.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
So I have a couple of things that I want to get rid of in case you come from this crazy cluttered room. I have all kinds of stuff in here, and I get some other companies every once in a while, for review. And lots of times companies will send more than one thing. So I want to give away our two different things, just kind of, they're not huge, but they're cool, definitely useful items, just to kind of celebrate our 1 year anniversary. And what you're going to do though is you're going to end up going to the Mirrorless Minutes website. I'm going to put a post up this weekend, so planning that on Saturday it will be up with directions on how to win. It's not like you don't have to give up your firstborn or nothing like that. It's pretty easy to get an entry in. So one of the things we give away is cool strap. It's not in the package because I actually take it out to do a review. It's made by a company called Huffa. They make these cool clips that normally go on like your own camera strap, and it's this little clip that you use it to contain your lens cap. Because I'll tell you what, my usual MO used to be that it goes in my back pocket, and it disappears, and then I don't have lens cap anymore. So the Huff clip, this is a camera strap with the clip. You take your lens cap off and you slide it in right there. So you got your strap around your neck. Now you know where your lens cap is. It's actually a really comfortable strap. It's got this nice material in the back of it that feels good on the back of your neck. It's like a Swedish massage. Holds your lens cap. And it's also like this crazy, I don't even know what you call it. It's like this D-ring kind of thing that you could actually put like carabiners on. I don't know. It's kind of a cool set. So I don't know what it retails for. In all honesty, they just sent it for review, and I reviewed it, and I liked it. I've got like all kinds of. I got like camera strippers love me. I've got all kinds of camera straps. I don't need another one, so I'd rather just give one to somebody else that watches the show. I think that would be cool. Share that kind of stuff. So the other thing is, so a lot of people, I say everybody all the time. A lot of people are familiar with design. They make, well, they're pretty famous now for a camera bag that they make. That they did at starter, but they also made this thing called the capture clip, and it's the system that lets you attach your camera to like this mounting plate. Well, there's another company that advantage of the fact they weren't first to market with a product. What they did is they saw what design was doing and developed their product to address some of the issues that people who own a Peak Design cap ran into. And it's the Uno is the name of the product by a company called B Grip out of Italy. So what this is
shoot. I think you just went into echoing. Okay. Hang tight. Oh, maybe back. It stopped. Back. Something about this show. We're gonna have to do another one. It's still coming. It doesn't sound as funny as last time. Well, I'm not sure if oh, hold on. Did you just reduce your bandwidth? I can't hear you now. It's just that darn, it's just the repeating. What are you doing to stop it? Oh, I got you. Oh, you back? He came back, but it's still doing it. I know. I can't believe it. Well, you want me? Can you see me still? Hold on. Yeah. Well, you want to wrap up? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll take it. We'll wrap it up. Hopefully everybody's hearing me. Jamie will get it corrected. I'm certain. Hold on. Maybe I still hear it. This actually sounds like a bike pump or something. No, but hey, you know what? This is modern technology, and sometimes we have to deal with this. So I first, from Jamie and I can tell you that a couple things we want to just thank. We want to thank Terry McKay for all the work he's done over the last year or two, helping us with Mirrorless Minutes, getting out on iTunes and helping us with the website. It's been a great year for the show. Now that we're starting up into our second year. And just every one of our listeners, I know out of Chicago was a great experience for us to meet so many people, and I'm real happy to be able to see them and listen to them and hear their ideas. And I think our second year is going to even be better. So, be patient with us. We'll get all these things corrected, I'm certain. And hey, everybody, we will see you in 2 weeks. I'm positive. And, we'll check and see what's going on with the internet then. So take it easy, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Take us down. We're still live. Can't hear you.